revolutionary guy let out the streets. Locked in the cage, I'ma let out the wake up, get out the sheets. You came from one man, forget that piece. You take the west side, take out the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the stop that.
To gain entry into our collective, you must demonstrate your proficiency through various gigs and ascend the ranks. Now consider this your warm-up challenge. Do you think you have what it takes to hack your neighbor's Wi-Fi?
If you wanna touch my please use
In the vast expanse of cyberspace lies the underground web, a realm where hackers converge, communicate, and find lucrative gigs. It's the gateway to hidden opportunities. Once connected, you'll discover a multitude of tasks that will test your skills and showcase your hacking prowess. These gigs will propel you within our collective. Navigate to the underground web and launch Hackify to purchase InMap and Metasploit.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
Attention! This is a public announcement. The party on this rooftop needs to come to an end. Please turn off the music and disperse peacefully.
Oh, look. Who's playing Rooftop Cop now? You sure you're at the right party, Grandpa?
I said turn off the music and end the party now!
Sorry, mate, I can't see open.
Run up the tab like a track meet. Check out the gals in the backseat. Yeah, oh my, I ain't never seen someone look so fly. Pretty skin tone, it caught my eye. You a heavenly being, when did I die? Pardon me, I'm just your type. No, start with me, I'm not about hype. You could guard me and I just might grow to be everything you like. That's awesomeness. Can I witness your flawlessness? Need a little of your bossiness. They say time is money and your time it get costly. Miss you the hood girl with the brains like a scholar. Good girl, but you're looking for a baller. Need the blue strips on your dollars, but take your number. When she ready, she'll call ya.
Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat.
the gals in the backseat. Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat. 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 Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat. Yeah. Oh my, I ain't never seen someone look so fly. Pretty skin tone, it caught my eye.
What the hell is going on? Where is my music? Shut it down! Party is over!
Morons not to disturb the public in the middle of the night. Head back to your apartment and complete the new gigs that await you.
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot him in the head.
Armed.
Pay close attention to your anonymity factor. It's reaching alarming levels, attracting unwanted attention from adversaries. a situation involving a white hat hacker named Edward Oliver. He was determined to expose a hidden truth the government has been concealing from the world. Unfortunately, before he could reveal anything, he was shot. Backtrack Edward Oliver's movements leading up to the shooting. Dig deep, follow the digital breadcrumbs, and uncover any leads that could shed light on who might have targeted him. We need to find out why he was silenced and bring those responsible to justice. The truth must prevail.
my body back and forth. Move 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 my body.
It appears evidence that Edward Oliver was indeed framed by CryptoCom. Moreover, the identity of this enigmatic figure, Serpent King, raises numerous questions. There is a complex web to untangle, but you must ensure the delivery of this incriminating evidence to the media.
Move my body back and forth. 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 Back and forth. Back and forth.
We have leads on a few facilities that could be connected to Serpent King. However, it's late now. We'll have to wait until morning to pursue further. Our target is Axis Bank server room. They are currently experiencing power issues, causing service disruptions. We have intel detail that they are anticipating a maintenance team to resolve the power issue today. You will assume the identity of the fire technician and enter the bank. From there, upload the malware to trigger a firmware anomaly, shutting down the firewall. The objective is to make them perceive it as a power-related issue, avoiding any suspicion of a cyber attack.
Welcome. Head on over to the left, and you'll find the room where you can do your inspection.
Good. You made it there. Use the drop phone to gain remote access to your laptop. And remember, stay within the room to not raise suspicion. firmware anomaly sequence has been initiated. Get out of here before they notice.
Everything in order, I suppose?
Their database has been compromised. It will take some time to piece things together and uncover what they were hiding. Currently, we have a situation involving former President Ronald Trump. The sensitive documents he possesses within his laptop are highly problematic, particularly if someone else were to obtain them. We must take immediate action to ensure their deletion.
like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary guy, let out the streets. Locked in the cage, I'ma let out the hood out the hood out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came from our mouth to get that peace. You take the west side, take out the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the start.
I heard him chat to me boys, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, man so tough, but man's keep walking. Just too sharp with the boys, white girls gotta tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pine, if you wanna touch me, please use caution, 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 caution,
take a little trip into his mobile device to give him a wake-up call. Uncovering some of his private secrets will be a good Kickstarter for him.
Came from the jungle, up in the trees. I got a few tricks up in the sleeve. One wrong move, I'ma let out the hood out the hood out the. Big shoes, check out the crease. Girl, like a Bigfoot, step on the beat. Bigger man's run, tell me step out the key.
If you wanna touch, man, please use caution.
Vader.
Whoa, that's hot.
Vader.
We have completed the search through Axis Bank's database. Unfortunately, no valuable information regarding Serpent Nexus was found. However, we did come across a file named Drifter.zip, which many believe to be connected to an old forum named Drifter on the dark web. Your task now involves decrypting the file and uncovering its contents.